What if I told you that not every gift is a blessing? What if some gifts are actually traps? The Bible warns us about things that may look good on the outside, but carry consequences we don't see until it's too late. Because sometimes what you receive today can quietly destroy your peace tomorrow. And the scary part? These gifts don't come from strangers. They often come from people you trust, people you love, people you would never suspect. So before you accept everything with a smile, you need to understand this. There are gifts the Bible warns you to never accept, because in Scripture, a gift is not always something you can hold in your hands. Sometimes it's influence, sometimes it's an opportunity. And sometimes it's something that looks harmless, but slowly changes your heart. And once your heart changes, your direction changes too. There's a kind of gift that doesn't feel dangerous at all. In fact, it feels easy, comfortable, convenient. It's the gift of compromise. It usually sounds like this. It's not a big deal. Everyone else is doing it. Just this once, and suddenly you're standing at a line you once promised you would never cross. That's how it begins. Because small compromises never stay small. They grow, they spread, and before you realize it, you're living a life you once said you never would. Think about it. How many times does compromise come disguised as an opportunity? A chance to get ahead, a chance to fit in, a chance to avoid conflict. It feels like a gift, but it slowly pulls you away from truth. And the most dangerous part is, you don't notice it immediately. It doesn't destroy you overnight. It works quietly, step by step, choice by choice, until one day you look back and barely recognize yourself. That's why this gift is so dangerous, because it doesn't force you, it invites you. And every time you accept it, you trade a piece of your integrity. The Bible teaches that obedience matters, even in the smallest things, because small choices shape big outcomes. And compromise always starts small. A small lie, a small shortcut, a small decision to ignore what you know is right. But every small moment is building something bigger, either strength or weakness, either truth or deception. So the real question is not, is this a big mistake? The real question is this leading me closer to truth or further away? Now there's another kind of gift, one that almost everyone wants. Easy money. At first, it feels like a blessing, quick success, fast results, instant relief. Who wouldn't want that? But the Bible gives serious warnings about dishonest gain, because money that comes easily often comes with a hidden cost. It may cost your peace. It may cost your character. It may cost your future. There's something powerful about earning honestly. It builds discipline, patience, and trust. But when money comes the wrong way, it skips all of that. And what you skip in growth, you pay for later in consequences. Easy money often brings pressure you can't see, fear you can't explain, and instability you can't control. Because deep down, you know it's not built on something solid, and anything not built on truth will eventually collapse. So here's the reality. Not every gift is good. Some gifts test your character, some test your patience, and some test your loyalty to truth. The gift of compromise and the gift of easy money may look harmless at first, but they can quietly change your entire life. And this is only the beginning, because there are more gifts, even more subtle, even more dangerous. So take a moment and think about your life. Have you ever accepted something that looked good at first, but ended up costing you more than you expected? Because what comes next might change the way you see everything. What if the most dangerous gifts are not the ones that look bad, but the ones that feel right? The ones that seem harmless, even helpful, but slowly pull you away from who you're meant to be. Because some gifts don't destroy your life instantly. They reshape it quietly over time. And by the time you notice, it's already changed you. One of these gifts is something almost everyone accepts without thinking twice. The gift of toxic approval. It feels good to be accepted, to be liked, to be praised, to feel like you belong. There's nothing wrong with that. But the danger begins when approval becomes more important than truth. When you start changing yourself just to fit into someone else's expectations. When you stay silent, even when you know something is wrong. When you begin to ask, what will people think? Instead of, what is right? That's when approval stops being a blessing and starts becoming a trap. Because the more you chase approval, the more you lose yourself. And the Bible warns about this in a powerful way, that you cannot serve two masters. At some point, you will have to choose truth or acceptance. Because if you follow people, you will constantly change. But if you stand on truth, you remain steady. The gift of approval seems harmless, but it can quietly control your decisions, your voice, your identity. And once you lose your identity, you lose your direction. Then there's another gift, one that feels even more justified. The gift of bitterness. It doesn't come wrapped in kindness. It comes wrapped in pain. Someone hurts you. Someone betrays you. Someone breaks your trust. And suddenly you're handed a choice, to forgive or to hold on. And holding on feels easier. It feels like strength. It feels like control. It feels like justice. But in reality, it's a hidden burden. Because bitterness doesn't hurt the other person. It slowly poisons you. It sits in your heart, affecting your thoughts, your peace, your relationships. It changes how you see people. It builds walls. It keeps you guarded, distant, closed. And over time, it becomes part of who you are. That's why the Bible warns so strongly about it. Because unforgiveness doesn't just stay in one moment. It spreads into every area of your life. It steals your peace without you even realizing it. The dangerous part about bitterness is it feels justified. You tell yourself, they deserve it. They hurt me. I have every right to feel this way. And maybe you do. But holding on to that pain doesn't heal you. It traps you. Forgiveness is not about saying what happened was okay. It's about refusing to carry something that's slowly destroying you. Because some gifts are actually chains. And the longer you hold them, the heavier they become. So now think about this. Have you ever stayed quiet just to be accepted? Have you ever held onto pain because it felt deserved? Because these gifts, toxic approval and bitterness, they don't look dangerous at first, but they slowly take control of your thoughts, your choices, your life. And this still isn't the end, because the final gifts are the most deceptive of all. They don't just affect your actions, they affect your soul. And what comes next might be the hardest truth to accept. What if the most dangerous gifts are the ones you don't even recognize as gifts? The ones that don't come with warning signs, but feel completely normal, even natural, because by the time you realize what they've done, they've already taken something from you. There's a gift that quietly enters your life, without noise, without pressure, without force. The gift of distraction. It doesn't look harmful. In fact, it often looks productive, entertaining, even necessary. You tell yourself, I'll just do this for a moment. I'll focus later. I'll get serious tomorrow. But that moment turns into hours, days turn into weeks, and before you know it, you've drifted. Not because you made a big mistake, but because you slowly lost focus. The Bible teaches the importance of being watchful, of staying alert, of guarding your time and your heart, because distraction doesn't destroy your purpose directly. It just pulls you away from it, little by little. And the most dangerous part? It feels harmless. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just not doing what matters. And over time, that becomes the difference between a life of purpose and a life of regret. Distraction is a silent thief. It steals your time, your energy, your attention. Things you can never get back. And once enough time is gone, you start to feel it. That quiet realization that you could have done more, been more, become more. That's why this gift is so dangerous, because it doesn't look like loss until it's too late. And then there's the final gift, the one that sits deeper than all the rest, the gift of pride. It doesn't come loudly. It grows quietly inside you. It whispers things like, I don't need help. I already know enough. I'm better than this. At first, it feels like confidence. But slowly, it becomes something else. Because pride closes your ears. It closes your heart. It closes your ability to grow. The Bible warns again and again about pride, because it separates you from truth. When you think you already know everything, you stop learning. When you think you're done, need guidance, you stop listening. And when you place yourself above correction, you begin to fall without even realizing it. Pride is dangerous because it blinds you. You can't see your own mistakes. You can't see your own weaknesses. You can't see how far you've drifted. And the higher pride lifts you, the harder the fall becomes. That's why it's called a hidden gift, because it feels like strength, but leads to destruction. So now, look at all of them. The gift of compromise, the gift of easy money, the gift of toxic approval, the gift of bitterness, the gift of distraction, and the gift of pride. 6 gifts that don't look dangerous at first, but have the power to quietly reshape your entire life. They test your character. They test your focus. They test your heart. And the truth is, everyone faces them. Every single day. In small decisions, in quiet moments, in choices no one else sees. But here's what matters most. You don't have to accept them. You have a choice to stand firm, to stay aware, to protect your peace, and to guard your life. Because not everything given to you is meant for you. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is say no. So before you accept the next gift that comes your way, pause for a moment. Look deeper. Ask yourself, is this leading me toward truth or pulling me away from it? Because in the end, your life is shaped not by what you receive, but by what you choose to keep. What if the biggest danger was never the gifts themselves, but the fact that we don't recognize them when they come. Because none of these gifts arrive looking harmful. They don't come with warnings. They don't feel like traps. They feel normal, acceptable, sometimes even right. And that's what makes them dangerous. Because by the time you realize what they've done, they've already shaped your habits, your thinking, your life. Think about it. Compromise doesn't feel like failure. It feels like a small decision. Easy money doesn't feel wrong. It feels like opportunity. Approval doesn't feel dangerous. It feels like belonging. Bitterness doesn't feel toxic. It feels justified. Distraction doesn't feel harmful. It feels harmless. And pride doesn't feel like weakness. It feels like strength. That's the pattern. Everything that slowly destroys you first convinces you that it's helping you. And once you believe that, you stop questioning it. You accept it. You live with it. And eventually, you become shaped by it. But here's the truth most people never stop to think about. Not everything that enters your life deserves to stay. Some things are sent to test you. Some things are sent to distract you. And some things are simply there to see if you can recognize them for what they really are. Because your life is not built in big, dramatic moments. It's built in small, quiet decisions. The things you allow, the things you ignore, the things you accept without thinking twice. That's where everything begins to change. And the Bible doesn't just warn you. It prepares you. It teaches awareness, discipline, discernment, the ability to see beyond the surface and understand what something truly carries. Because not every door that opens is meant for you to walk through. Not every opportunity is meant for you to take. And not every gift is meant for you to accept. Sometimes, the strongest people are not the ones who take everything they're offered, but the ones who have the wisdom to walk away, to say no, even when it's difficult, even when it costs them something, because they understand something deeper, that protecting your peace is more valuable than pleasing people, that staying true is more important than fitting in, and that not everything that looks good is good for you. So now, this is where it becomes personal, because this isn't just a message, it's a mirror. Look at your life. Look at your choices. Look at the things you've accepted, the things you've allowed, the things you've held onto. Are they building you or breaking you? Are they bringing you closer to truth or slowly pulling you away? Because at the end of the day, no one else makes that decision for you. You do, every single day, in ways that feel small, but matter more than you realize. And maybe this moment right now is your chance to see things differently, to become more aware, more intentional, more careful about what you allow into your life. Because once you start seeing clearly, everything changes. The way you think, the way you choose, the way you live. And the next time something comes your way, disguised as a gift, you won't just accept it. You'll recognize it. And that awareness might be the very thing that protects your future.